Hey, what is up guys, it's Galaxy Tech Darkwood here, coming at you guys today with a new Sylvan deck. This has undergone some changes since the last time I did this because you can't run 3 soul charges anymore, which means the deck has lost a tiny bit of consistency, although on the plus side we did get glow up bulbs, so we did get back some generic plant engine stuff. Very minor changes, only to the generic spells really, and one to the monster lineup. Anyway, so I'll get straight into it. The monsters are now pretty standard. We have 3 copies of Sylvan Hermitree, draw power, access to Felgrand, all that. 3 Sagequoias, easy to summon, good attack, level 7, you know. Then we have 3 Marshalleaf. This card is really great at the moment because it allows monster removal to be. It allows you to remove monsters quite easily. In this format, it is a floater format, so that is where this card trips up a bit, but it is still really useful in some circumstances. Then we have 3 copies of Komushroomo, mainly to do the excavate 5 bit, not the destroy spells and traps, but it can work in that respect as well. Got a really great defense in that respect as well, so yeah. Then 2 Princessprout, because 3 is really cloggy, but like 1 isn't enough. With Princessprout, it does make your rank 7 and 8 plays really easy as well, because it's actually Ophion proof. So yeah. Then we have 1 copy of Cherubsprout. I put this back in because it allows you to fetch Spore, Glow Up Bulb, Peaskeeper or Princessprout from the deck, which can give you some really great plays. Then we have 1 Peaskeeper, because this is your connection to generic plants, essentially. So yeah. Then for the generic plant engine, we have 2 copies of Lonefire, because it's Lonefire, we need it. 1 copy of Glow Up Bulb, because it's back in there. It's really splashable in this deck. It can make some really good synchro plays. And we have 1 Spore, which can also make synchro plays, but can also make some really good rank 8 plays as well. Then we have 1 copy of Blaster, because there's a big fire body in this deck, and 2 copies of Rose Archer, because you're running mostly all plants apart from Rose Archers and Blasters, so why not? Then for the spells we have 3 copies even of Mount Sylvania. This allows you to check your draw at the end of your opponent's turn. See if it's a plant, it automatically goes to the graveyard. But if it's a card that you might want, then you can keep it on top of the deck and draw it. Otherwise, you can put it on the bottom. Then we have 3 copies of Sylvan Charity. This allows you to manipulate what you draw and it also gives you access to 3 new cards off the top of your deck, and then putting 2, including a Sylvan, back. This is really good for setting up stuff as well, especially if you've got stuff in your hand that you don't want, like a Marshalleaf or a Princessprout. Then we have 3 copies of Miracle Fertilizer, because this is really great in this deck, because you don't do a whole lot of normal summoning, which means that this is really ideal, because your normal summon doesn't matter, and it allows you to dig for a plant in your graveyard once per turn. Then I've cut Breakthrough Skill from the deck to have 2 Forbidden Chalice instead, because I do believe it's faster than Breakthrough Skill. It's not multi-purpose, but this isn't Light Swans. It's not Breakthrough Skill's not going to go into the graveyard, and I'm not running Kuru Bandit. So yeah, this is really great in that respect, and also it can get past things like Royal Decree as well. Then we have 2 Forbidden Lance, as usual with my previous deck list. This was in there as well. 1 Soul Charge, because it's at 1, but it's now a really good generic card. 1 Terraforming, because you may want to search for Mount Sylvania. 1 Book of Moon, because this card is really amazing. I read up on rulings recently that this card can really help get over skill drain, because once the monster is then face down, it is unaffected by skill drain, but the effect will still go off. So yeah, in other ways as well, this is really useful. And then one Raging Mad Plants. This is a very odd choice to many people, but I think this is really great because it's almost like a limiter removal. For each plant in your graveyard, your all plant type monsters you control gain 300 attack, which is really great. I mean, they're destroyed at the end phase, but if you're going for a push for game and you've got a whole field of plants on the field, this is really useful. And because it's a quick play, you can also use it in your opponent's turn. And your graveyard is most likely going to be stacked to the brim with plants in the late game. So yeah, that's the main deck. For the extra deck, we have one copy of Orea because you need this card. It's so amazing. I finally got my hands on a Dracossack, so yeah, one Big Eye and one Master of Blades. Then for the 8s, we have 2 copies of Felgrand, 1 copy of Alsei, and we've got 1 copy of Tachyon Dragon as well, because this is really helpful, actually. I've found myself needing this card more and more, so I cut Heliopolis for it. Then we have 1 rank 3 in the form of Nightmare Shark, because it can attack directly, and it's really great for that. Then for the Synchros, we have 1 Armory Arm, 1 Black Rose Dragon, 1 Scrap Dragon, and 1 Crimson Blader. Then we have 1 Leo and 1 Star Eater to finish that off. Right, that is the deck, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.